Let me tell you about Frank. Retired, active, still sharp as a tack. But lately something's changed. He doesn't talk about it, not even with his wife of 45 years. But it's there, between them. Quiet distance. He avoids touch. He flinches when she reaches for him in bed. One day, during a routine checkup, he finally broke down. "Doc," he said, "I don't feel like a man anymore. I can't perform, and I don't want to burden her." Frank's story isn't rare. In fact, it's the norm. Most men don't realize how deeply aging affects their sexual identity, not just physically but emotionally. And too many suffer in silence, thinking their best years of connection are behind them. Here's the truth. Sex may change after 70, but that doesn't mean intimacy, or pleasure, has to disappear. The question isn't, can masturbation replace sex? It's, what are you really trying to preserve? Connection, health, pleasure, or just dignity? Because what's at stake here isn't just sex. It's your heart health, your independence, your emotional vitality, even your lifespan. In this video, you'll discover whether masturbation can truly fulfill your body and brain after 70, the surprising health benefits and potential drawbacks of self-pleasure, what changes in your body and hormones are really driving your urges, and how to reclaim intimacy on your terms, whether you're partnered or not. If this speaks to you, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Type 1 in the comments if this resonates, or 0 if you think something's missing. And let me be clear, this is not about shame. It's about understanding. It's about taking control of your body again, with clarity and compassion. Because what's really happening isn't just in your mind or your relationship. It's happening inside your bloodstream, your prostate, your nerves, the very core of your manhood. So let's dive into what's really going on under the surface, and what you can do about it. Let's break this down, because if you're over 60 and feeling like things just aren't working the way they used to, you're not imagining it. You're not broken. You're aging. And that's not a flaw. It's biology. But here's the thing. No one ever really told you what to expect, did they? Let's start with the basics. As men age, testosterone levels begin to decline, slowly, steadily. That affects everything from energy to mood to libido. But that's just part of the picture. Your blood vessels, the highways that carry oxygen and nutrients throughout your body, begin to narrow and stiffen. Think of your arteries like garden hoses. When they're young and flexible, water flows easily. But over time, they get kinked, clogged, brittle. That means less blood flow, especially to areas like the penis, where circulation is crucial for arousal and performance. And then there's the prostate. This small gland, about the size of a walnut, sits right below your bladder. As you get older, it tends to enlarge, which can press on your urethra, disrupt ejaculation, and even reduce sensation. Now here's something most men never hear. You're not supposed to lose your desire. You've just lost the internal fuel that powers it. Blood flow, nerve sensitivity, hormonal balance. That's not your fault. But it is something you can address. And let's talk about erections for a second, because many men believe that if they can't get or maintain one, they're no longer real men. That couldn't be further from the truth. Erections are symptoms, not verdicts. They reflect what's happening in your vascular and nervous systems, not your worth or masculinity. Here's the kicker. Many men mistake a drop in sexual activity for a loss of interest, but often the interest is still there. It's just buried under frustration, embarrassment, or misinformation. That's why masturbation can feel like both a solution and a substitute. It's private, it's simple, it doesn't come with pressure. But is it enough? Can it really replace the intimacy, connection, and emotional release that partnered sex offers? We'll get to that. But first, we need to pull back the curtain on what's really happening inside. not just physically, but emotionally. Because your story and your sexuality is still unfolding. So let's dive deeper into the real challenges older men face. The ones nobody talks about. Let me introduce you to Harold. He's 68, widowed 3 years ago, fit, sharp, but quiet. When he finally came into the clinic, it wasn't because of pain or illness. It was loneliness. "I still feel desire," he told me, "but what am I supposed to do with it? I don't want to date. I just need to feel alive again." Harold turned to masturbation. Daily, sometimes more. Not out of addiction, but out of habit, out of survival. And you know what? That's not uncommon. For many older men, self-pleasure becomes a way to stay connected to their body, to their masculinity, to something that still feels in their control. But here's the hidden truth. It can also become a trap. Over time, Harold noticed he wasn't sleeping as well. He felt emotionally flat. He lost interest in socializing. He didn't realize it, but his brain was stuck in a loop, getting the physical release without the emotional connection. Like eating fast food every day. It fills you up, but leaves you malnourished. This isn't about demonizing masturbation. Far from it. In fact, moderate self-pleasure has real benefits. It helps with prostate health, boosts circulation, and releases dopamine, your brain's natural reward chemical. But there's a line, and many men cross it without even realizing. Here's the part no one talks about. Chronic solo stimulation, especially with heavy porn use, can numb the brain's reward system. You start needing more stimulation to feel the same pleasure. Real-life touch? Real intimacy? It starts to feel dull by comparison. That's not your fault. It's neurochemistry. And there's another layer. Some men use masturbation to mask deeper issues: grief, shame, trauma, fear of rejection. It becomes a way to avoid vulnerability, to stay safe. But in doing so, they lose touch with the very thing they crave most: human connection. I had another patient, Luis, 74. His wife had early-stage dementia. Sex had faded. He still loved her deeply, but he was alone in that part of life now. He asked me, "Is it wrong to take care of myself in this way?" Absolutely not. But I told him what I'll tell you. Masturbation can be healthy. It can even be healing. But it shouldn't be your only outlet. When it becomes the only doorway to pleasure, without intimacy, without touch, without love, it can slowly starve your soul. So here's the question. Are you using self-pleasure to reconnect with yourself, or to hide from the world? Because the answer to that changes everything. Now let's talk about how to shift that story and take back control in a way that renews your body, your mind, and your heart. Here's the good news. You're not stuck. Your story isn't finished. Whether you're single, partnered, or somewhere in between, you can absolutely reclaim intimacy, pleasure, and vitality in this season of life. Let's start simple. First, your body still works. Maybe differently than it did at 40, but it works. You just have to work with it now, not against it. That means taking care of the basics. Hydration. Your body is 60% water, and dehydration affects blood flow and sensation. Drink more than you think you need. Movement. Gentle exercise boosts circulation and testosterone. Even a 20-minute walk each day can reignite your energy and drive. Prostate health. Regular checkups matter. A swollen prostate can choke off your pleasure and kill your confidence. Don't ignore it. Now, when it comes to self-pleasure, slow it down. Try this. Turn off the porn. Take a breath. Touch your body with care, not urgency. Breathe as you go. Focus on sensation, not just climax. That alone can rewire your brain to experience deeper pleasure and less performance pressure. And if you have a partner, don't make this about getting back to how things used to be. That's not the goal. The goal is connection. Talk, laugh, sit close, touch hands. Rediscover what intimacy feels like without a scoreboard in your head. Even if sex as you once knew it has changed, so what? Intimacy is about presence, not just penetration. Cuddling, kissing, mutual touch, bathing together. These are all valid forms of sexual connection. You can also explore gentle supports like pelvic floor exercises to strengthen control and sensation, herbal support like ginseng or maca with your doctor's approval. Breathing during climax helps you feel more and release fully, not just physically but emotionally. And above all, shift your mindset. This isn't about being 30 again. It's about becoming fully present in your now. Your pleasure matters. Your connection matters. You still matter. You're not broken. You're just underinformed. And it's not too late, not by a long shot. So the next time you reach for yourself, or your partner's hand, remember, this isn't about replacing anything. It's about returning to something deeper. Let's finish strong in the final section, because the best may still be ahead. So let's come back to the question we started with. Can masturbation replace sex after 70? And the honest answer? Sometimes yes, but not entirely. Because what we're really talking about isn't just sex. It's about closeness, purpose, feeling alive, feeling wanted, feeling whole. Masturbation can be a healthy, private way to stay connected to your body. It can relieve stress, support prostate health, even help you sleep better. But when it becomes the only form of intimacy, especially in place of emotional connection, it can quietly chip away at your joy, your energy, and your relationships. The truth is, you deserve more than a moment of release. You deserve connection. You deserve to feel respected by yourself and by others. You deserve to feel like a man, on your own terms. Let me say this plainly. You're not past your prime. You're not done with love, touch, or meaning. You're just in a new chapter. And you get to decide how it's written. If this video helped you feel seen, share it with another man who needs to hear this. Subscribe so you don't miss the next message for your health and dignity. If you're still watching, type "still here" in the comments. I want to know who's walking this path. And if you're ready to reclaim your strength and intimacy, type "I'm not done." Because you're not. You are still capable of deep connection, still worthy of desire, still strong, even if you've been quiet about your needs. Don't let silence steal your vitality. Don't let shame write your story. Start small. A breath, a walk, a touch, a conversation. And keep showing up for yourself. You've come this far, and trust me, you've still got something powerful to give.